Florida State got a big win this past week over LSU, 45-24. Florida State looked pretty damn good against a top 10 team. And there will be people out there that will ask you, is Florida State legit? Can we believe in Mike Norvell going into year 4 that he has built a program that's sustainable to run the show all the way to Charlotte for a shot at the ACC title and eventually be able to punch their ticket into the college football playoff? Spoiler alert, yes, they are. They're that dangerous. And the thing is that they were dangerous last year, but there's always that little sense of disbelief when you go into the preview magazine season, when you get a really hot end to 1 year, and how do you go ahead and duplicate that success? Mike Norvell is probably the perfect culmination on why giving up on a coach too soon is a bad idea, because Norvell was really well respected when he was at Memphis. Like, if you go back and you listen to the way that players talked about him, the athletic staff talked about him, recruits mentioned him about how he was selling a group of 5 program, the dude knew what he was doing. Like, he absolutely had the vision and the mindset to be able to produce. You just had to give him time. And Florida State, they went through some really trying times. At the end of the Jimbo Fisher era, they bring in Willie Taggart. That was an absolute mess to begin with, and it never got better. And so they had to go ahead and do this right. And they did. They absolutely did, by giving Norvell time to build the roster on how he see fit. And he really was one of the first that took advantage of the transfer portal. Like, people forget Johnny Wilson, the superstar 6'7" wide receiver, didn't start his career in Tallahassee. He began it in Arizona State. You didn't have Jordan Travis on this team to begin with. He was at Louisville. So he took advantage of what the transfer portal was supposed to be and what the transfer portal has drastically turned into. But he really hit new strides this past offseason by adding in top-tier talent. I want you to go back and look at this Florida State game and find a flaw with this team. Now, don't tell me that there was bad starts. There was absolutely some moments where you were like, oh, God, yeah, really? This is what I'm getting? But find a flaw with this team. They have depth beyond belief on that defensive line. They have depth in the secondary. They have receivers that we didn't even mention. Like Keon Coleman from Michigan State ended up having a phenomenal day in the passing attack with 122 receiving yards and a hat trick. But they have other guys like Winston Wright Jr. and Lawrence Tuffield, and even Shaheem Bell, who only had 2 catches, that could end up really becoming household names by the season's end. They are good. They are really good, and they are sound on all belief. And here's the best part. They did it against a top 10 team that I think is going to find their rhythm at some point in the year. Like, I will not be shocked to see LSU run the table and find a way to make it back to Atlanta as the SEC West representatives. Because if I am a believer in Brian Kelly, I know that what he said about how this team was going to march on in and kick Florida State's butt, and it's on radio, Brian Kelly. I'm just going to let you know, it wasn't you saying it in your mind and then it just slipped out. No. There's actual footage. So don't lie and say you never said it. You did. But I think LSU is a very good team. Here's the best part. There were struggles in this game for Florida State. Imagine when they don't have those struggles. Imagine when kind of that early notion of you being a little bit scared or having just the pre-jitters end up washing away. Yeah, you can be even better than what you did. 45 points might be the start. It might not be the finish for this team. 800-224-2004. Veteran quarterbacks matter in college football because if you expect them to deliver in high intense moments, and Jordan Travis did that with 4 touchdown passes. He also rushed for another touchdown, threw for over 300 yards, and he finished with a QBR of 94.7. They can run the football. They averaged 4.0 yards per play. Trey Benson, Jordan Travis, Rodney Hill all had at least 28 yards on the ground. They also can throw the football, and the defense is going to get a lot of quality 3 and outs. Jared Verse decided to come back because if he wanted to win a national title, he would have been a top 10 pick in last year's draft. The guy was phenomenal after making the transfer over to Albany. And this is why the transfer portal is really good for teams that are trying to prove we mean business. Like, you don't have to go ahead and follow your morals and values like another school in the ACC. You can go and get that piece de resistance that takes you over the edge. That's what Florida State did. And that's why Florida State is legit. If you tell me that this team leads in top 10 categories defensively, offensive metrics, scoring, all of that, I will believe it because I've seen it. Like, you go into the offseason and you ask yourself, is this team going to be legit? You hear things coming out of camp, you read all the reports on the message boards on 24/7 Sports or rivals.com, and you're like, okay, it's one thing to hear it. I got to see it. I saw it against a team that last year played in the SEC title game with a roster that isn't as good as this one right now. And they dominated the entire second half, outscoring LSU 31-7. And they can run the show. They do not face a Notre Dame as like an out of conference game. They don't have to really worry about most games against Wake Forest, against Syracuse, North Alabama, Florida. Good luck with that one. They're absolutely going to give a bloodbath to the likes of the Gators. 11-1 is extremely plausible. 12-0 is extremely plausible. And because of what this offense can do and how the defense is going to mitigate mental mistakes, they may end up being the team to beat in college football, surpassing Michigan and Georgia in the process. So if you ask me this morning, am I a believer in Florida State like Deion Sanders? Do you believe? I believe. And I believe that they are not slowing down. Instead, they're just getting started. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.